What's up, YouTube? I'm back at you with another video. And in this video, I'm going to do my prediction for the LSU Tigers versus the Auburn Tigers, the Tiger Bowl. This is always a great matchup to watch every season. I always tune into it. And you got two teams in the SEC West going against each other. And I'll just go ahead and read off the stats. I'm going to start with the LSU Tigers. You have a very, very great team at LSU. They got Jaden Daniels at quarterback. This guy might potentially be in the Heisman talks this season. He's thrown for 1,969 yards. Really, really good production. Completion percentage of 72.9. Has 19 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. This guy has definitely stepped up his passing game. I was a critic of him being able to pass the ball downfield, and he's done that in a significant fashion. Just putting up a lot of points and definitely a leader on that team, man. Definitely a great player for the LSU Tigers. And they have a great run game as well. They have Logan Diggs. He has 488 yards rushing. He has 4 touchdowns. And he's averaging 6 yards a carry. Just a tank, man. Just a really, really tough guy to try to tackle. And Jaden Daniels, he's actually second on the team in rushing with 422 yards with 4 touchdowns. He's averaging about 5.6 yards a carry. So Jaden Daniels, man, like I said in Heisman talks, man, really, really good player. But the LSU run game is really, really good with Logan Diggs and Jaden Daniels. And they also have Josh Williams. He has 155 yards and touchdowns. So this LSU run game is really, really good. They got Caleb Jackson and Noah Kane as well. Really, really tough running game for LSU Tigers. This offense is really, really good. They got a lot of guys coming back on the offensive line, and this offense is performing at a very, very high level. I did videos previous in the offseason that LSU is going to be really, really good offensively, and they're showing it. They're proving it each and every week. At receiver, man, Malik Neighbors, 771 yards receiving with 6 touchdowns. And he also has another guy that's helping him with Brian Thomas Jr. He has 603 yards receiving, and he has 9 touchdowns. And they also got Karen Lacey, another guy with 2 touchdowns with 169 yards receiving. Mason Taylor, tight end, 160 yards receiving with a touchdown. If you're defending LSU, defensively, you got a lot of weapons that you got to look out for. Jaden Daniels can take it off at any time to get, yardage, and he's done it several times this season. They've been in third down situations. He's able to pick up the first down. He's very, very fast, and he's slim. He probably wants to slow down on taking hits, but he's showing you that he has heart. And this LSU offense is very, very hard to defend against. And Auburn's going to be tasked with trying to stop that offense. Defensively, LSU hasn't lived up to the billing on defense. They're getting up a lot of yards. They're talented as anybody in the country, but for some reason, they're just not clicking defensively. Their leading tackler, Major Burns, at safety, he has 42 tackles. I'm sorry. He has a sack and a pass defender and an interception. So he's the leading tackler, and he's making production for them. But as a whole, this defense just hasn't really put up a lot of numbers. They have 11 sacks on the season, but you would like to see more production from guys like Harold Perkins. He only has 27 total yards. Total tackles. I keep saying total yards. Total tackles. He does have 2 sacks and 3 pass defended and an interception. He's definitely a guy on that team. Mason Smith, he has 11 total tackles. He has a sack. He has 2 pass defended. But, you want to see more production from him. Matt House definitely has to turn this LSU defense around. It's been plenty of times where guys were wide open when they're playing against opponents. And I know going to this season that LSU's secondary was going to have to be revamped. They went into the transfer portal to get some guys, but they just haven't, seen the production yet. But LSU, very, very talented team. They got Makai Wingo. He has 20 total tackles. He has 1.5 sack. They got to get more production. They got to get more production on that side of the ball. They're very, very talented, and it's no excuse for LSU to be performing at the way they're performing. If they can get their defense playing as well as their offense, LSU is going to be a problem for anybody in the SEC. So definitely got to clean that up, And we'll just read off some more stats on the Auburn Tigers. Auburn has Peyton Thorne at quarterback. He's thrown for 643 yards, completion percentage of 62.8. He has 4 touchdowns, but he also has 4 interceptions. He definitely has to get his production up as the quarterback. He's considered the better passer of the two between him and Robbie Ashford, but he's not doing a good job, passing the ball. And they definitely have to clean that up, especially against a defense that they're going to go against, even though LSU's defense hasn't performed at a high level. But you got to be able to pass the ball in order to be in the game against LSU. And Auburn's going to be at a disadvantage at this point, considering that Peyton Thorne is not really accurate, at being consistent with the offense. So definitely going to have to watch out for that. What Auburn does do well, though, is that they're very, very good at running the ball. Jacquez Hunter, he has 202 yards. He has 2 touchdowns. Peyton Thorne, he's the second rusher behind Jacquez Hunter, which is weird, but he has 198 yards and 2 touchdowns. Robbie Ashford, he's the one that has the most rushing touchdowns on the team. He's very gifted with his legs. He has 134 yards. They put him in situations where maybe they're like on the, try to switch it up, when they know they need to get some yardage. They'll put Robbie Ashford in there. He's very, very elusive, kind of like, he has speed just like Jaden Daniels does, minus, passing down the field. So Auburn has to get their offense running, surprisingly against Georgia, they did a pretty good job when they played them at home this season. They was able to run the ball a little bit on Georgia. So Auburn has to establish a passing game as well as, continue to keep their run game going. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this matchup between the Auburn Tigers and the LSU Tigers. At wide receiver, Jay Fair, he's their leading receiver with 196 yards for 2 touchdowns. Fairweather at tight end, he has 145 yards and a touchdown. Shane Hooks, he has 106 yards and a touchdown. So they have a few, but they definitely have to. They only have 5 touchdowns on the season, at receivers. So, and they have 12 touchdowns at run the ball. So Auburn definitely has to get their production up offensively. Defensively, though, Auburn is no slouch. They look really, really good against Georgia. They held Georgia to 27 points. Georgia had, problems scoring on Auburn in that matchup, and this time, Auburn's going on the road. And normally defense, travels when you go on the road and stuff like that. So the Auburn defense definitely has to step up with Ron Roberts calling the plays. They definitely have improved from last season. So they're going to be tasked with stopping this LSU offense, which I said is very, very good, very good. So Eugene Asante, he has 35 total tackles. He has 2 sacks. He has 1 pass defended. He's their leading tackler. They also have Larry Nixon, the third linebacker. He's second behind Eugene Asante with 23 total tackles. Definitely a team that can play defense. Ron Roberts has definitely improved their defense. And they also got Jalen Simpson at cornerback. He has 4 interceptions on the season. So definitely a guy that LSU has to watch out for on the back end of that defense. But, that defensive front was playing really, really well, for Auburn. Marcus Harris, they have guys like that. Mosiah Kilt, I might pronounce his name wrong. Keldrick Faulk. They have guys like that on their front, man. And Back in the day, Auburn used to have a great defense, especially under Kevin Steele, Alabama's current defensive coordinator. So Auburn's no slouch at having great defenses, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this matchup. They got to produce offensively. Now, I was looking at the stats, total yardage for both teams. Auburn is getting 358 yards a game. They're only getting 156 through the air, but they're getting 202 on the ground. So, like I said, Auburn is a run-first team. They got great, outstanding rushing stats, but they definitely got to complement that with their passing game. You got to get that going in this matchup against LSU if you want to take advantage of LSU's defense. Um, Auburn is allowing 322 yards to opponents. They're allowing 194 through the air, and they're allowing 128 on the ground. They got to clean both of those up, but especially that rush stat, allowing 128 yards a game. You can't do that against the LSU offensive line that's got some great running backs. And like I said, Jaden Daniels can extend plays with his legs. So Auburn has to stop the run, you know, in the pass against LSU, but definitely stop that run first to make LSU one-dimensional. LSU, on the other hand, total yardage, they're getting 548 yards a game. They're getting 337 through the air. They're getting 210 on the ground. Very, very, very good offense for LSU. They do everything well, pass the ball and run it. They're very dangerous on the offensive side of the ball. Auburn has to slow LSU's offense down if they want to have a chance in this matchup. LSU's allowing, though, 445 yards a game. You might as well say 446 yards a game. Too much for LSU. They're allowing 285 through the air and 160 on the ground. LSU's defense has just been bad so far these last couple of games. And I'm going to read off these opponents, that both teams played against. Auburn beat UMass 59-14. They beat Cal 14-10. Beat Sanford, I believe that's the school, 45-13. But took a loss to Texas A&M, 27-10. And took a loss to Georgia, 27-20. So it seems like when Auburn has played against a great defense, the offense has sputtered. It's almost non-existent. They definitely got to turn that around in this matchup, but they have a chance to do it. LSU's opponents, they lost to Florida State early on in the season. Beat Grambling 72-10. They had a showing out party against Grambling. Beat Mississippi State 41-14. Beat Arkansas 34-31. Lost to Ole Miss though 55-49. And then against Missouri they won, but they edged out a victory against Missouri 49-39. So LSU's defense, man, they can give Auburn a chance in this matchup to win. Definitely got to clean up some things. And Auburn is really, really good at running the ball, and LSU's giving up 160 on the ground. That's unacceptable if the LSU Tigers, and that's giving Auburn some room to win this matchup. So I'm looking at the line for the game. It's LSU 11 points. It's at Baton Rouge. It's a night game. Playing in LSU is a hard game to play, whether it's daytime or nighttime. But them nighttime games at LSU, it's real, really hard to play in. And Auburn got to go on the road on Baton Rouge. I got LSU win this matchup. I think Auburn's going to have a chance to run the ball, but if they can't produce a passing game in this matchup, I think it's not going to matter against how bad LSU's defense has been. If LSU can key on just loading the box and trying to stop Auburn's run game and force Auburn to pass the ball with Peyton Thorne at quarterback, I like LSU's chances in this matchup, even though the secondary hasn't really been that good. If LSU stop the run and make Auburn one-dimensional, I like LSU's chances to win this matchup. Then eventually the Auburn defense will get tired, and I think LSU is going to be able to put up some points against Auburn. It's just too much stuff going on. offensively for LSU not to score points in this matchup. And I think LSU run away with it. Unfortunately for the Auburn Tigers. That's just my opinion, though. If you guys think I'm wrong, you think it's going to go a different way, you guys let me know. But I got LSU winning big. But that's all I have for the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.